the crying, the devastation, the heartbroken students and parents all dread this day. May 2013 comes around, and the thought of, am I going to be in the lineup, is a thought by many high school students who were taking state tests for the last time. Throughout high school, you are given many different tests that determine how well you do in school. High school gives you many challenges to prove that you are ready to graduate and that you are ready to receive a high school diploma. That is why I feel that giving a standardized test is not an unfair way to determine a student's graduation. Many students can get test anxiety and score lower on a state test that they normally do well in every day. Graduation shouldn't be set on one certain test because there are many aspects of high school that are completely outside of the classroom. Also, there are students who have done nothing throughout high school, but they look good on paper. Therefore, they get away with doing the bare minimum and graduate from high school. To begin, taking a state test can be very different for our students. For personal experience, I can turn in 10 homework assignments, but then get close to 100 on them. But when I take a test, I completely blank out and lose control. I know that I am not the only student that experiences this problem. If we measure a student's knowledge by making them take a test, it will be a big mistake, and we will risk the chance of not letting a good student graduate. As stated from FAIR tests, it states that while our understanding of the brain and how people learn and think has progressed enormously, standardized tests have remained the same. Test takers may still assume that knowledge can be broken into separate bits and that people learn by observing through individual parts. Next, a standardized test is unfair because your diploma is not determined on everything you learn in the classroom. A lot of material that students learn in the classroom, the teachers are told to teach, but the students do not pass. There are certain types of tests that you would normally receive at the end of the school year. There are other events and experiences in high school that contribute to graduation. To survive outside of high school, you have to think outside of the box. It sometimes isn't the material things that we learn that we're going to use in real life, but it's the thinking process and the concept. It's unfair to base a way a student will be after high school because of a test. As stated from Bob Jacobs, a chemistry teacher at Wilton High School, he said that it is more likely that a student will fail. The score will be because they will fail because the teacher did not teach. On the other hand, students who memorize information included in the different in-depth courses may score even higher. That is why I don't think this is right. Last, this test could allow slackers to get away with nothing and still get to graduate. We all know those kids. We done had them in our class. The ones that hardly do nothing, never study, never show up to class, but still get to pass. This kind of thing goes back to test anxiety, but in reverse. It means that there will be students that have done a bare minimum throughout high school and take this test and score well enough just to graduate. And on the other hand, you have a student who've done well in school but flunked their state test and, in result, not graduate. Standardized testing also puts gifted and talented students to feel pressure to perform and well and to bring up the scores, which can often result in disconnection from the learning process. It has been shown throughout the Delta region that this is one concept. Because a certain number of students are expected to pass, the scores are automatically sufficient for state approval. The results of state testing in the Queen County area has proven that in every 50 students will not pass the state test and will not graduate because of a state test. It's time to take action and put forth a petition to stop this heinous crime. We as parents and students need to protect our child against the state testing and get a better clarification of the No Child Left Behind Act. To conclude, having students take a standardized test to graduate is unfair and not an appropriate way for classrooms and for the teachers. Last, this could tell us that slackers get away with everything. Thank you.